So when Roborock released the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra, after I reviewed it, I was convinced that we've seen the final boss, the ultimate gladiator of the robot vacuum arena. It felt like the endgame had arrived. Now fast forward to now. The curtain rises and the spotlight shines on the newest contender, the Roborock Q Revo. And it comes at a price that is 40% lower, but it still manages to pack about 80% of its premium features of its sibling. So in this video, you find out not just what might have been left behind from the premium S8 Pro Ultra, but you also find out some unexpected advantages that you could potentially find within this new robot vacuum. Now the Roborock Q Revo is another maintenance-free robot cleaner, where not only it cleans the house or your office, but it also cleans itself as well. Yep, if only my cat Luna cleans after itself. So in other words, it refills and removes dirt automatically using its docking station, which also cleans and dries the robot's brushy bits. But more on that later, because let's first take a look at the dock. Now it is a slimmer unit compared to the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra's dock, which I did an in-depth review on that in case you have missed it. So do check it out if you haven't, and I'll be referencing that as the flagship to give you a much better context of what exactly I'm talking about in this video, since I've been using it daily ever since I released the video with over 2,202 square meters or 23,000 plus square feet of cleaning. Now the dock still refills the robot with clean water, flushes out the dirty water and empties the dustbin like the flagship. But when you lift up the lid on top, you've got 2 water tanks, not 3 like the flagship. Well, if you're surprised, don't be, because the dustbin is playing hide and seek. Just pull the front bit and voila! You have a slimmer docking station which saves a bit more of floor space compared to the flagship. Now because of this format, this Roborock Q Revo is able to fit in a much bigger water tank, which gives a rated 400 square meters of cleaning before needing to refill instead of 300 square meters in the flagship model. Also, see this indicator right here? Well, that will turn red instead of white if you need to change or refill the insides of the machine. Really handy to glance to see instead of just only relying on the app to see if you missed out any notification that the app usually sends. And this is something which I tend to forget on certain nights because I always forget to either refill or change the water a few times already. So this indicator really came in handy. Now, like the flagship, it does come with the self-wash and the self-dry as well, which is a major hell yeah to ward away those nasty odors. And the Q Revo dock base is also detachable for cleaning convenience, because normal vacuums or other robot vacuums, the dock base is built in, hence it's quite tedious to clean as you need to squat to try to reach it or carry it on top of the table, which could be quite nasty, especially if it's very dirty indeed. So yes, with this easy washing dock, it prevents dirt to be trapped and hardened, making cleaning the dock easier with minimal effort. And the mop pad this time around is where the charging modules are. So if it's charging, the mopping is in the dock drying compared to the flagship where it's on the opposite side. Now speaking of the robot itself, it is also quite different because if you look underneath, instead of the dual roller riser brush system, there's only 1 instead of 2 compared to the flagship model, but there's the usual side brush as well. Then below that is also a different mopping system where instead of the oscillating mop pad, we are greeted with a dual spinning mop system, the first from Roborock. Wax on, wax off.
Wax on, wax off.
And the mop pad is fixed on the robot magnetically too. Now another notable change is the smaller 80 ml onboard water tank compared to its flagship 200 ml. So yes, that is quite a difference in terms of the cleaning, but what also really makes a difference is that if you click the like button and subscribe button. That would be great if you guys are finding this video helpful so far. Also, definitely check out our website at www.adamlobo.tv for a written review of this Roborock Q Revo, and join us at our community Discord server to talk tech together with me and other fellow tech nerds. All the links will be in the description below, and thank you very much in advance. Okay, so how does it clean? Well, it cleans like a champ, a versatile cleaning heavyweight. Like seriously, because as always, it cleans dirt and debris no matter wet or dry very effectively still, even though its suction power is rated at slightly lower at 5,500 PA compared to the 6,000 PA in the flagship. Now sure, it might take the robot some extra passes to fully clean, but it's a robot. it will do the work. It's not like you are physically vacuuming, right? Also, this model is a tad bit quieter at a rated 63 dB compared to the 68.5 dB on the flagship, which is another interesting point considering too, especially if you don't want a very loud vacuum in your home. But, and there's a huge but over here, pun not intended, is the sensor system, because this particular model does miss out on the reactive 3D AI obstacle avoidance. Instead, it has a reactive tech obstacle avoidance. Now, this is of course a notable step down in terms of object detection, especially on smaller loose items on the floor like toys, for example. So yeah, definitely not the best when it comes to obstacle avoidance, especially if you have lots of loose items spread all over the floor, just like how Luna's toys are after her playtime. But if your area is generally empty, then this will definitely get the job done very well. Now on the mopping side, I was surprised that it does clean very well too. But as mentioned, unlike the oscillating mop in the flagship, this uses 2 mop brushes that spin at 200 RPM and is still very great when it comes to general everyday cleaning. So yeah, freshly spilled soda, check. Dried spilled soda, also check. And also worth mentioning is that this has physically a smaller tank too, so you would see it go to the dock itself very frequently compared to the flagship. But another positive note is that the mop still does auto rise, and better yet, it rises 2 mm higher than the flagship, so thick carpet owners, you can rejoice. Now lastly, I would like to mention the smart features, which is about the same as the flagship. There's also voice control, and the Roborock app is still great when it comes to setting up, as you can also set up things like quick mapping of the room and customized cleaning routines, which is all still available in this model. And even the fast charging is also present on this Roborock Q Revo, which is great that Roborock has decided to keep it in this model. And one thing that I really like, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, because since I've reviewed many other robot vacuums by now, is that Roborock app logo is so prominently red that I rarely accidentally ignore that notification. So in conclusion, what do I think about the Roborock Q Revo and who is it really for? Well, based on my review, if you are the kind of person who is less messy, if you are say single or working newlyweds that doesn't have a lot of time for you to clean the house yourself, or you just want to save some money and still get a very capable robot vacuum, then yes, this is a really great option for you because it will get most of the cleaning done and you can save a lot of time and energy at the same time. Plus, it comes with a very great price of 3,599 ringgit price tag, which is a great robot vacuum and mop combo for the price. But I have a special voucher for you that you can use by using the code ADAMQRevo, where you can get 400 ringgit off from that retail price, where all the links and the info will be in the description below. So that is a huge saving that you could get. But you know what, as you all know that Roborock is already a very well-known household name for coming up the best quality and the price ratio for overall robot vacuums too. However, if you have a bigger house, lots of pets or even lots of children, then yes, the flagship Roborock S8 Pro Ultra is still the way to go for a bigger onboard water tank and a much better AI avoidance system. And speaking of that Roborock flagship, you can find that video over here if you haven't seen it.